Regulators. We regulate any stealing of this equity. And we damn good too. But you can't short just any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the charts. Earn your keep. Regulators. Reallocate.
It was a clear green day, a clear white chart. Chilling in the markets, playing technical art. Trying to scalp a run before the volume closed. Scrolling through positions where the candle glow shows. Just hit the east side of the SPY. On a mission trying to find that next high. Seen a screen full of red, no need to tweak. All these apes know what's up with the meme stock streak. So I hook a left on the QQQ. Some traders shooting puts, so I said what it do. I hopped in the chat, said who's up. Some whales dropped short, so I said that's tough. Since these bots keep creeping, I'ma glide and swerve. These algos flipping bids till they hit the curve. Better think of better things than these leverage tricks. I see my homie in the drawdown mix. I'm getting wrecked, margin myself. Can't believe they liquidating my wealth. They took my shares, they took my calls. I looked at the broker, man, that's all. They got my crew hemmed up, bears all around. None of them think they going pound for pound. Gotta hedge up quick before they start to clown. Pulled out my calls and gamma squeezed them down. They got puts to my head, I think I'm going down. Can't believe this happening in my own town. If I had wings I could fly, let me contemplate. Glanced at the pre-market and saw my homie fate. 16 charts deep and one in the hole. Time to make these buster ass shorts turn cold. Now they dropping and yelling, it's a tad bit late. Had to move the funds, had to reallocate. Dump them puts, let the FOMO explode. Switching my brain back in the green mode. If you won't gain, sit back and observe. Just left a gang of bears down there on the curve. Now the funds look tight and that's a known fact. Before I got margin, I was on that track. Back up, cause it's on. Capital flow, and it's moving strong. Just like I thought, same old plot. In need of some desperate shots. The traders in the zone were stressed as hell. One said, my chart broke down, I'm taking an L. Said, hop in, the gains feel swell. Next stop, the East Side Motel. I'm tweaking into a whole new era. Reallocate a step to this side, dare you. Funk on a whole new level. Chart strings, weed brings metal. If you know like I know, you don't wanna short to this. It's the G-Fund era. Funk out with a bullish twist. If you trade like I trade, then you green like every day. And if your bag is a buster, 213, we'll regulate.
Oh, brother, oh, brother. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Matt Kohrs Show, where it is a beautiful Friday, October the 17th, a.k.a. Payday Friday, a.k.a. OPEX Day, a.k.a. the day that pre-market trading looked like we were going to vomit and really get hit, and then all of a sudden everyone started buying, and now we're just at the closing value from yesterday, even though we've had a multi-% swing in pre-market trading. Feels like it's going to be one of those chaotic days, and hey, we're going to celebrate by giving away some cold hard cash and giving away not one, not two, but 10 different prop accounts. Obviously, shout out to Vanquish, shout out to FFN. Those are going to be part of the giveaways today, and like I said, also cold hard cash. I hope you've been practicing in your marble racing, because the fastest racer in all the land will be crowned the king and or queen today. Obviously, we have a lot to chit chat about. If you're just tuning in right now, if you're getting to work, dropping your kids off at school, or doing whatever you do at the crack of dawn, you might want to look at pre-market trading, because it's been a wild ride. Granted, if you're just looking at the percentage change from yesterday's close, you're going to be like, Matt, what in the world are you talking about? And that's exactly when you got to look into the charts and realize that it's been a roller coaster in the early morning session. So we're going to be breaking down why that happened to the downside, banks giving out bad loans, people blowing up, and then why we're rallying back. Basically, Trump saying, nah, we don't have any issues with China. So that's really all setting up on a very exciting Friday. Friday. Remember what happened last Friday? Wasn't so good. Well, this one most likely going to be a bit more intense due to the fact that it is OPEX. This is the monthly OPEX, options expiration, as in there's a lot of people, make a lot of decisions. A lot of contracts are expiring today. Now, it's not a triple, quadruple witching situation, but there is a lot of open interest that is donezo today, as in we could see some really, really interesting moves. We're starting to see the stability in the S&P 500 degrade a little bit, as in we're seeing larger ranges. So let's see if we can get on the right side of the move today. Folks, I hope you had a great day yesterday. I hope, unlike me, you made a bunch of money, and I hope you're ready for not only today, but I hope you're hanging out this weekend with family, friends, having a good one. If you're a Pennsylvania sports fan like me, well, the last couple of weeks have been absurdly rough, so maybe we shouldn't pay attention to sports. But if you happen to be a sports fan of a team playing a Pennsylvania team, well, huge congrats to you, because you're probably going to freaking win. So I hope you're having a good one. I hope you're ready for a Payday Friday. I guess on that note, I should probably start there. It is a Payday Friday. It is free for everyone to get involved. All you have to do is go to my Twitter. All you have to do is like, retweet, and follow. We are giving away 10 different funded futures networks futures accounts, and 5 of those, and then 5 of the Vanquish accounts. So we're giving away 10 in total. Once again, this is free for everyone to enter. All you have to do is like, retweet, and follow. It is that simple. You don't have to pay. There's not an upsell or anything like that. 5 FFN accounts, 5 Vanquish accounts, and $150 of cold hard cash. That's what's being given away today. Happy Payday Friday. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. You guys might as well do it. All you have to do is like, retweet, and follow. Follow those 3 steps, and you will be entered. And obviously, we'll be picking it live for everyone today. So, like I said, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video, or just go right to my Twitter account, Matt_Kohrs. 5 futures accounts, 5 options accounts, and then obviously $150 cold hard cash to the fastest racer in all the land. So here's what's going on today. Dow futures drop 300 points as regional bank worries fuel market sell-off. I have a feeling this was written at 647. I have a feeling if I reload this, they're going to force, right here. Dow futures rebound from steep overnight losses, turn higher as traders shake off bank credit concerns. They're not really shaking that off. That's still a legitimate concern. It's really what we got from Trump with respect to China. So it feels like the intern at CNBC needs to be a little bit better about writing those headlines. But I'll just give you a little sneak peek of what happened. Here's a look at the NASDAQ overnight. So we were kind of fine until about 22 o'clock, 10 p.m. And then we waterfalled until about 4:30. And then from 4:30 till now, we've made a bounce basically back up to exactly where we were. So if you were bearish at 4:30, you were feeling amazing. If you were bullish, you were feeling horrible. And then fast forward about 2 to 3 hours, and all of a sudden it just completely returned. So we are due for a pretty wild day. If I had a crystal ball and could tell you guys to be bullish or bearish, I would. Well, I probably wouldn't, because I wouldn't have this job. I'd be a billionaire on a beach somewhere. But my point is, as an active trader, if you're a day trader, scalp trader, or even a short-term swing trader, and I really got into this in the update video yesterday, that type of prediction is stupid. I get it. All these gurus and gurus and all these people trying to sell you a class like you too could predict the market. And then they do a bunch of like cherry picking of their best trades and Monday morning quarterbacking of like, well, if you looked at it like this, you would have top ticked it and you would have been perfect. It's bullshit. None of these people are going to show you their year-to-date results. None of these people are going to trade in real time. And if they do it once in a while, it's never going to be consistent. In the short term, this is a different game. It is not a game of prediction. Prediction does have a place in the market. That's called investing. That's saying 5, 10, 20 years out, do you think EVs are going to be more or less popular? Do you think nuclear power is going to be more or less popular? Do you think all of a sudden fiat currencies are going to erode and gold is going to be even more of a safe haven asset? That is a thematic prediction that has a place, but you're looking at a multi-period prediction. It's a multi-year effort. Look at what Warren Buffett does. It's that type of a thing. And I think it gets conflated a lot because people are like, okay, well, if that happens and it's all in the stock market, does that happen in trading? And it really shouldn't, because by the time you look at any data, especially the data times sub 1 day, it is almost indistinguishable from noise, which is a very fancy mathematical statistic way to say it's random. It is very much random. If you look at every 1 minute bar, 3 minute bar, 5 minute bar, the prediction of the next bar, it's going to be pretty much 50-50. You could break down all the stats, facts, and figures you want, and you're going to come to the realization that people who actually trade have, and like, okay, the next shot, it's going to be about 50-50, which means really for you to be net profitable, it's a game of risk and reward. It's a game of you reacting to levels that you think big money is positioned at, because you might either bounce or break down or tilt into positive gamma, negative gamma. It's a game of reacting to key levels and understanding that, yeah, you might be right, but it's you managing your risk versus your reward, not this prediction of like, oh, we're going to rip today, we're going to sell off. And it's probably one of my biggest sticking points with the current state of education in the world of retail trading is people are out there trying to sell this concept that you could predict where it's about to go, and it is dumb. You might be the first time tuning into this thinking like, well, why is it so dumb? Remember, for you to predict of what's going on in the short term, that means in the next whatever time frame you care about, minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you're attempting to predict everyone in the world who's currently engaging in the stock market. You're attempting to predict in net what they're about to do. Are they going to be net aggressive buyers or net aggressive sellers? So unless you know in aggregate what all retail traders, institutions, high frequency traders, market makers, hedge funds, insurance funds, and everything in between is what they're about to do in the next minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of your life, you're not going to be able to predict. Predicting is stupid. Reacting, as in paying attention to your risk, your reward, it's all about your downside management. The best active traders I know, and really any good trader would admit this, all they are is like borderline obsessed. They are paranoid about their risk, and all they do is watch their risk, and when they finally have a winner, when they're fishing and they catch a trend, cool. You just ride the trend as long as you possibly can. But when they're initially putting on that trade, it's an immense amount of focus on the downside risk, because if it goes wrong, which it's going to go wrong often, unless you're new to the world of trading, if you've been here before, you know trades are going to blow up in your face. It's more of the idea of how can you survive the marathon that is trading. And it's all about your downside protection. So whenever you're in a trade, day trading, whatever it is, just assume you're going to be a 50-50. Right half the time, wrong half the time. So if you're about, just assume it's going to be wrong. That's really probably the safest assumption. And if you're doing it with that mindset, well, all right, maybe you're going to be able to withstand some of the craziness like we saw yesterday or the overnight session or really whatever's in store today. But stop trying to predict, just react with good risk management, and you'll be able to survive the craziness. Trump says he will meet with Putin in Budapest to discuss end to Ukraine. Two leaders speak before Zelensky's visit to Washington as Trump considers new weapons for the capital city of Ukraine. And I just want you guys to know this is part of the news. Remember, we have this on a global scale, we have an uptick in news related to, I guess, Ukraine, Russia, and also the U.S. Recently about what's going on with Israel and Hamas. So those are some of just the larger global stories that we should be paying attention to. Obviously, global story related to the economy. Right now, the hot story is what's going on with China, and I'll be touching on that in a second. So there's a lot at any given moment that we have to be paying attention to, which is definitely explaining why the VIX is a little bit elevated. Trump puts Russia on notice over Ukraine as two leaders prepare to meet. After pushing for a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas, U.S. President Donald Trump will now turn his sights on ending the war in Ukraine. The president yesterday said that the other high-level advisors will meet with the Russian President Vladimir Putin in Budapest to discuss how to end the war. So obviously, pay attention to this. News could be breaking at any moment. Bill to fund military government shutdown fails in Senate procedural vote. To literally no one's surprise who's listening to this at all, bringing the drama back home to our shores, the government shut down, and it doesn't look like we are getting anywhere close to resolving it. As of now, Kohrs is about to, for the first time, crack 40 days in terms of how long will the government shutdown last. We're about to exceed 40 days. Remember, the shutdown started on October 1st. Obviously, now this has us getting to almost halfway through November, which has a lot of implications, not only in terms of if you happen to be a government employee or using government services, this is just going to be a mess. But for us as traders and investors, remember, that means a lot of the government reporting jobs, inflation, that entire gambit of info is just not going to be there, folks. We're not getting it. When we started this week off, there was a bunch of maybes. There was a bunch of asterisks of we might get this, we might get this, we might get this. And you can see now, fast forwarding to today, Friday, it's just no longer. That info is not there because the government is still shut down, which means that the Fed, they're going to do the best they can, but they don't have much info. Powell is backing for 2025 rate cuts, and then things get cloudy, without a doubt. So fast forwarding to the end of this month, October 29th, we are now 99% confident that we will be getting another 25 bips rate cut, dropping the Fed fund rate from 4% down to 3.75. We are 99% confident of it. The question is, what in the world's happening in December and January? Right now, it's a gigantic question mark. It normally is this far out, but on top of the fact that we just don't have data. We don't know what the unemployment numbers are. We don't know what the initial jobless claims numbers are. We don't know CPI. We don't know PPI. We don't know PCE. We don't know inflation. We don't know jobs. We don't know the major metrics that tell us about the health of the economy. We're flying dark. They might be good. They might be bad. They might be mixed. The whole point is we're all shrugging our shoulders saying, what in the world is happening? And as there's a bunch of uncertainty there, because like I said, could be bad, could be good, could be in the middle. We know that crazy things are now happening, especially with regional banks. This is the big news as of yesterday, which is why we sold off and probably why the overnight session was not so rosy. Bank stocks steady as earnings ease credit fears after the rout. Bank loan worries make it easier for Fed to cut interest rates. So tying this back to the Fed, the fact that we're seeing some cracks in the foundation of the economy, well, okay, they're going to want to ease things up and be a little bit more dovish than hawkish. So if you're a person who's maybe looking at bonds or yields or something like that, this is an important thing to know. But in the overnight session, the whole aspect related to banks, this is kind of crazy. It looks like Jeffries and Zion really took a hit. So here's what you need to know about the banking sector, specifically regional banking.
The amounts for these two banks, the losses are actually quite small, in the tens of millions and something, but they come on the back end of losses we've seen on the First Brands collapse in the U.S. And the Tricolor one, which has raised concern generally about what's going on in the credit risk among banks. That's spilling over now to Europe. So these things are piling up and increasing anxiety for banks, and that's why the hit's so big right now.
The other point about it is that we're talking about private credit here. We're not really talking about a broader, more public credit type of situation. Is there a fear that it will bleed into the other parts of the market, or what is the fear exactly?
That's happening too. You're absolutely right. So, I mean, by definition, private markets and private credit is private. So there's little information. The banks know little about it. There's concern across banking that they've invested and lent to private credit borrowers, and they're exposed where they don't know about other people's exposure. These add up, and the opacity is now something that's causing growing concern. They are worried about it. It used to be it's a booming asset class. Banks have built up massive exposure, and they're concerned now it's coming home to roost.
So what is the solution here? If it's private credit for a reason, I guess it's a little opaque, but surely the people actually lending the money are supposed to do their due diligence. Is there a suggestion that there are plenty of bad actors out there, or that there just isn't enough information to be had?
Well, as is typically the case, if it's a booming asset class and someone else lends to, some private credit borrower, and then the next bank says, whatever has lent money to them.
That's
so
actually my favorite part of the video.
Tick the box of the due diligence. So
that's really why I wanted to show it to all of you.
When such a big business is happening, at some point the banks tend to cut corners, and this is now what's again causing concern, that they've not done the due diligence sufficiently enough, and have exposure in their books that they're not even aware of, that risks have built up that they're not aware of, and that could come and explode into their faces.
So, as you heard, it's exploding in their faces. And what's exploding in their faces is shocking all of us, because this is the first time I've ever heard a story of banks not doing their due diligence and giving out loans at way too high of a leverage, and then it coming back to bite them in the ass. I think this is the first time we ever have evidence of banks not doing what they should be doing to protect themselves and the rest of the capital markets. And instead, it seems as if some of individual employees wanted to write loans so they could get bigger bonuses because of how many loans that they wrote. I've never heard of this before. Never heard of this one before. I myself am shocked to find out that banks behave in this way. absolutely shocked. So that is part of the reason why yesterday was so bad, and part of the reason why around 4 a.m. things were absolutely horrible. But since then, it's been a very strong recovery, and that's because Trump woke up and saw the futures market, and he's like, we got to get some things out there. Trump asked if high China tariffs will stand, and his direct answer was no. And then after that, we had a little bit more right here. Breaking, President Trump calls his 100% tariff on China not sustainable. We have to have a fair deal, according to the commander-in-chief. So I get the vibe that he woke up, realized how bad futures was, and he's like, hey guys, ask me a question about China, and I'm not going to stick with it. And then that's exactly why we're bouncing back. So that's where we're at. And then he even had the rest of the administration double, triple, quadruple down. White House economic advisor Hassett, who is one of the front runners to be the next Fed chairman, says we're not in a trade war with China, which is interesting because he's saying this at 7:45 on October 17th. But if you go back to either the 15th or the 16th, Trump said we are in a trade war with China. So that's interesting. Actually, I think I have that. I don't want to just say, you guys shouldn't just trust me to trust me. It feels like we are very rapidly going back and forth. Where was this? Did I lose it already? I believe it was on, I want to say it was right after the market closed 2 days ago. And I think I saw it with TrendSpider. So basically within Trump softened his tone on China. We knew that. I believe it was right after the market closed 2 days ago that Trump said we are in a trade war with China. But then according to the White House economic advisor, we are not in a trade war with China. So as you could tell, life is all over the place. And I don't know, are any of you like just getting tired of this? The fact that we are right here. October 15th, 4:44, breaking. President Trump just said the U.S. is in a trade war with China. But then as of the 17th, we are not in a trade war with China. So what is it? Were we in a trade war as of market closed on the 15th? And then as of market open on the 17th, we're just, the war is over. It was a day and a half trade war. And we're like, we're in it. And then 36 hours later, we're like, and we won. It has a feeling, this very much has the vibe of a lot of double talk, which like this is what every administration does. This is not by any means unique to the Trump administration. This is just how politics go. They're all full of a lot of hot air, and they're going to say whatever is in their opinion, appropriate and expedient at that moment in time to get them what they want. If you're ever looking for a cohesive, accurate, not full of complete bullshit story, don't look to a politician. Don't look to a politician. Come on, folks. We all know more than that. So that's pretty much the setup for today in terms of the hot news you should be paying attention to. But the other thing I want to bring to your attention is the fact that this is OPEX. So, and if you're just joining in right now, yes, it is a beautiful Friday, October the 17th. That means it is OPEX, which is why this all looks so weird, because there's so many options about to expire at 9:30 in the morning in 7 minutes, which is why the gamma map looks completely different right at 9:30, which means we're going to have to kind of circle back to this. Obviously, yesterday, paying attention to where the positive gamma was a huge benefit to know when to finally play the breakdown. I'm expecting this to shift quite a bit. So just remind me to come back to this, the gamma map, and we want to see where there's selling and buying. But what I can tell you is there is a big positive gamma chunk at 6625 to 6660. So we'll call it, it's just a little bit north of 6650. That is where, if we get into it, it's a choppy zone, a little bit more stable, but I mean, it's stable in the sense of, okay, we're not going to get some big pop to the upside or big drop to the downside as we're in it. The longer we stay below it, there's a better chance of us testing 6,600. The longer we stay above it, there's a better chance of us testing 6,700. In my book, the way I perceive the market, our chop zone is 6,600 to 6,700. Above it, the bulls have a legitimate chance. Below it, the bears have a legitimate chance. And until then, I think I'm just going to kind of sit and wait. I do want to be honest and transparent. I have swing put positions on the SPX, SPY, and QQQ and NDX. So basically 2 different things, but 4 different legs, I suppose. Anyway, my bias coming into this, just because we lost all that positive gamma yesterday, coming into OPEX today, OPEXs tend to be big pivot points. If you look at every monthly OPEX, there's a lot going on there, and they generally set up the next trend for the next month until the next OPEX. And the fact that going into yesterday, we lost all that positive gamma at 6650, I was like, all right, I'm going to take my shot. Obviously, when I woke up this morning, I was feeling really good at first. Now I'm not feeling so smart. Obviously, my positions are still in the green because we're either break evens or slightly red. But today's going to be very telling. So I guess my note to all of you guys is when the market, 940, 950, something like 10, 20 minutes into the day, remind me to come back to this because we're going to need to map out those new key levels. But as of now, these are the key levels on the screen. Feel free to screenshot this. Feel free to write them down. Do whatever you want. Use them. Don't use them. I don't care. I'm not your mom. But anyway, we always map out the previous high, low, and close. That is the green, the red, and the white. Important technical, psychological pivot levels. The white box is the transition zone to the 0 DTE, which I do expect it to pivot throughout the day. And then these yellow lines are where there's big open interest, as in there's a lot of money sitting on those particular strike prices. And just to remind you, even though on an intraday day trading, scalp trading situation, this is our transition zone, on the swing trading perspective, I would say the transition zone is between 6,700 and 6,600. Above it, bullish; below it, bearish; within it, a little bit choppy. But once again, that is from a swing perspective. If you're day trading, scalp trading, it's more of this white box here. So just wanted to call that out. As I always do, I also marked out the overnight, the extended hours trading for NQ, the high and the low. It's quite the range. I mean, we went from 860 all the way down to 400. That's a 450 point range. That's almost $10 range. Actually, it's more than a $10 range in QQQ. So get ready for today. Most likely large ranges. If there were a day that coming into it, it was evident you should be sizing down, don't use as much leverage, it would be today because the moves are already setting up to be large. So if you're wrong, you don't want to blow out. And if you're right, you don't need to be playing that big to make an actually impactful amount of money. So please get ready for ranges, because not only do we have a crazy overnight session with the news of Russia, Hamas, China, the government shutdown, but then when you pepper on a little bit of the gasoline from the fact that it's OPEX, you guys gotta get ready. If you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter. The next one will be coming out this Sunday. It's 100% free. If you're watching this and you haven't signed up, there's literally no downside. It is 100% free, FREE, every single Sunday at 10 a.m. You get a breakdown of what's going on in the market, cheat sheet for earnings, cheat sheet for all the major macroeconomic events, and then most useful is the seasonality of each day. And I do want to let you know that today is leaning bearish, slightly bearish. It's not the most seasonally bearish day we've ever seen, but you could see over the past 5-ish years, it's been a little bit more bearish than it has bullish. Once again, it's just leaning bearish. It's not absurdly bearish, but obviously on this individual day, you would be net profitable as a bear in the past 27 years worth of information rather than to be a bull. So I just wanted to call that out to everyone. And I also want to call out the fact that if you're joining in right now, don't forget to take part in the Payday Friday giveaway. It's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. Take 10 seconds out of your life. Go over to this tweet, like it, retweet, follow. You're good to go. You're going to be entered. We're giving away 5 FFN futures accounts, and we're giving away 5 Vanquish options accounts. And then also we're going to do a marble race for $150 of cold hard cash. If you're watching this right now, it is free for everyone to get involved. Hey, worst case situation is you get cash and a free trading account, and the other worst case situation is nothing because there's really no downside. So 5 FFN accounts, 5 Vanquish accounts, like, retweet, and follow, and $150 of cold hard cash. Obviously, shout out to Vanquish. Right now, they are rating a crazy 70% off deal. They're doing this in celebration of their 1-year anniversary. They are 1 year old, so 70% off. Huge deal right now with that code Goonie. And then until the remainder of this month, you have Funded Futures Network, aka FFN, running a crazy 50% off, buy one, get one, and no activation fee. The fact that it's 50% off and buy one, get one makes this thing absurdly affordable. Once again, use that code Goonie. So if you want to get a futures account, if you want to get an options account, you're going to get a fat discount with the code Goonie. And of course, I'll be trading on those throughout the day. I have all my accounts right here. Here's my Vanquish account. That's the book map. And I'm ready to rip it with all my futures accounts as well. Haven't done any trades yet today. And then obviously, hey, you also might get $150 of cold hard cash. Like I said, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. And since we are a little bit out, let me get ready. Very quickly, let's look at some of these daily charts. All right, so SPX almost got a technical breakout or recovery, we'll call it, yesterday, and then got smacked pretty hard. The other thing you might want to watch is right here. So it looks like, depending on the longer term trend line you are using, we almost got the recovery and rejected, but then yet we held this other one. So we're kind of in this like questionable zone. And that's what I'm saying is above 6,700 real shot, below 6,600. I would think that it is more likely than not that we were going back to testing roughly that low from last Friday, a week ago, Friday, October the 10th at 6,550. So right now it's an if then statement. If this happens, I will be bullish. If this happens, I will remain bearish. Pretty simple. Similar setup in the NASDAQ. If you look at NDX or QQQ, very, very similar setup. Try to recover, got smacked right now in that questionable zone. Bitcoin not looking good. Bitcoin taking a hit overnight, recovering a little bit from 104, but I'm really looking for that test of 100,000 in the next maybe week or so. Looking at gold, to no one's surprise, ripping to another new all-time high. And actually on that note, dingity ding ding ding, the world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all, play responsibly, and if not, have fun. Folks, it is a beautiful Payday Friday, and right now the SPY and the Qs are opening in the red, but not as red as they were overnight. The SPY is only down 0.2% and the Qs are down 0.3%. Let's see how things play out today. I've given you those levels. Of course, we're going to be checking this. I just need a little, hang on. Where's that snap level at? We're definitely going to be watching this today to see how it needs to get above 6625 for support, folks. And when I say it, I'm talking about SPX. And it looks as if this morning it is not getting that memo. For there to be any sense of stability, it needs to get back up to 6625. This is where we have some support right here. Because below it, you see how empty this is below? Folks, this could get a little gnarly. You're watching 6625. It needs to get up here for stability. Or as we crack, maybe people react to 6,600. But remember, we are tilting into negative gamma. You see all this red? That was a bunch of negative gamma. But you see how it gets bad below, like, I don't know, we'll call this below 6,600. Let me zoom in. Maybe we can like get a little bit more specific with some of these levels. There's a little support here at 5,570. So if we tilt 6,600, you have a shot to catch at 6570, maybe. And then from there, it's just negative gamma. But on the flip side, obviously 6,600 is very important, and we might just get sucked back up in kind of the gravitational pull of this positive gamma node at 6625. So that's kind of the initial watch, and really that's pretty close to yesterday's closing value at 6629. So if you happen to be bullish, as a bull, your if-then statement is, if we get back up and hold 6625, 6630, if that happens, on a day trading perspective, you could play 6650, from there 6665. That would be your if-then statement as a bull. As a bear, the longer we remain below this, well, okay, that increases us testing the key technical psychological level of 6,600. If that doesn't hold, there are some players as of early this morning at 6590 playing that slight overshoot. But what I'm seeing on the gamma map this morning is your next positive gamma node is at 6570. And then from there, there's a pretty brutal drop all the way down to 6,500. So if you happen to be a bear, that would be your bear case. Remember, I am never, ever going to come in here and just randomly predict to you guys. I think that's stupid. I don't think that's how markets work. That's not my personal mental framework of what active trading is. I think active trading, it's a bunch of nerdy ass stats, facts, and figures, and you lay out your cases. If this happens, then I will be a bull. If this happens, then I will be a bear. But you're looking for those events to present themselves and become reality rather than just like, oh, I'm guessing on this. I think that's a really, really silly way to engage. But once again, that's my own opinion. We are watching the high and the low. This is for NQ, so this is for my futures traders. So for people who, for example, might be on funded futures network, good targets are the overnight trading session, high and low. So you could see we were as high, and this happened pretty early on, around 6:10, pretty much right after market open. We got as high as basically 24,860, and at the most extreme around 4:30 a.m. we got down to 24,410. So I'll be watching those two levels on NQ. I obviously already gave you the SPX levels, and then we're watching other things go crazy. Gold hitting a new all-time high. The VIX was way higher, almost cracking 30, getting hit pretty hard right now, coming back down to 24, so watching that. But right now, things are red, slightly red. Actually, Apple going green, the rest slightly red. Let's see what today has in store. I cannot drive home this point enough that this is an OPEX day, so do not be surprised about crazier ranges and movement. We're getting this push right back into it. Let's see. Let's see if this market can actually get back into positive gamma. Positive gamma, sense of stability. This is where market makers are more of mean reverting players than trend following. Once you get into, once again, positive gamma, that's all these like purple bars ahead. That is where you have quote unquote stability, because as you go up, market makers sell and you come back down. As you drop, market makers buy and push you back up. So you don't really get those big moves. And really for most of that movement in the overall S&P 500 from May up until recently, that was very much defined as an extreme amount of positive gamma, especially beneath in terms of strike prices. So every single time we dipped, the market makers were natural buyers once again to balance out their books. So if we get in here on a very short time period, this could be a little bit more of stabilization. And yeah, maybe that's going to give some people some confidence to play it up to 6,650. That is totally possible. On the flip side, though, if we lose this and we don't successfully hang out here, I think this is a little bit easier to see on the 5-minute. If we start to lose all of this, there's not much support beneath. Like you could even see it, maybe if I move myself over here, you could just see this is all negative gamma. And that's kind of what we saw yesterday of when things tilt, they can get really, really fast in terms of price movement when you tilt into negative gamma. So will it happen? Won't it happen? I don't know. I'm just telling you that's the case you have to be mindful of. So there's your bull case, there's your bear case, and let's see how this is going to play out. The SPY getting a push to the closing value from yesterday. Let's see a little bit of a red to green move. And actually, wait, did I turn on my bots today? Yes. Okay. The bots are on. So we were speaking about them in a little bit more detail yesterday of how they work, how they don't work, what they're looking for. And we came up with some better ideas of like how to improve this type of stuff. And as I kind of already knew from like just really honestly a basic breakdown of it is these orbos, the opening range breakout. Once again, is it your 10-minute, your 15-minute, your 30-minute, whatever. You're waiting for that first bar to develop, and then you're either taking the breakout trade or the breakdown trade of that first bar. That's the orbo trade. Those are not profitable if you take them every single time, every single day without any filters. I've done extensive out of sample testing, in sample testing, research. I am here to tell you, you will not be profitable if you take every single one. However, you can make orbo trading actually profitable if you add on other filters, as in kind of being a little bit biased of which ones you're going to take, as in trading with an overall bias, rather than just saying, doesn't matter. I'm either going up or going down. That's not the way to do it. That is 100% not the way to do it. So once again, just to be, I don't want my thoughts or opinions or my statements to get misconstrued on this. You can be profitable as an orbo trader, but you will not be profitable if you take every single orbo every single day. That is just not how it's going to work, especially like just some of the considerations of like risk to reward on those. It's just simply not going to be worth your time. But however, if you start to use like a little bit of RSI filters, MACD filters, EMA filters, maybe if you skip some of the weaker periods, that's all of a sudden where your expected value is actually going to turn positive. So I want to call that out. We've been doing it in the background. I am filming an extra video and we're kind of using all these clips from the live stream for a different video. So I'm going to keep trading the 10-minute orbo with you guys today. You saw it work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yesterday, it didn't work because it was counter trend. It was one of those things where there was like a little wick. It got kicked into a position, but it was against the overall trend. So what we're doing today is I added some lines of code to the strategy of it's only going to take the Orbo if the break of the Orbo is in the same direction of the overall trend as defined by various EMAs. So just want to let you guys know, we're still doing the 10-minute Orbo trade. We're still working on that video in the background, but we have quote unquote improved it by adding in some of these filters. And this time it shouldn't require me at all. I already had the code for it, and now I've just decided to be lazy and let the bot completely rip it. But let's see. I'm not really sold on anything yet. The 5-minute and the 10-minute are bullish. The 30-minute is testing. The 4-hour is bearish. 5 minutes bullish, 10 minutes bullish, 30-minute is testing, and the 4-hour is bearish. So depending on the time frame you're paying attention to, we are getting very, very mixed signals. And I would say that this could get legitimately bad if the 10-minute starts to crack. I would watch this 50 EMA, the 50 period exponential moving average, which is right around 24,660, which is about 100 points below. So even if that happens, that'd be pretty extreme. But watch for that. If we hold it, okay, maybe intraday the bulls have a shot. If we crack it, this might be going from a bit of a bullish push back down to a bearish push. And then if you're looking for that on ES, if you happen to be trading the S&P 500, the ES contract, not SPX, it would be at 6,633. Watching this 50 period EMA. And then obviously as things do or don't develop in one direction or the other, we could start to call out more important levels. What time is it? It is 9:40. Where's my 10-minute? Okay. So this should be trading if I did things right. It should be trading. And I actually added on a bonus strategy today that's a bit of a runner. But it's not going to take it because it's not with trend. If this breaks down right now, it will only take this Orbo trade if I have bad code. So I'm on the 10-minute chart right here. Obviously, you have the 10-minute open and close, pretty much the same value. You have the low value there, and you have the high value here. It looks as if it's about to break to the downside. If I wrote the code right, it should not be taking this trade on one of the strategies. The other strategy, I believe, will be taking it. And the reason I'm saying that is because as of right now, it is not with trend as defined by the fact that the 5-minute bullish cloud, 10-minute bullish cloud. So it's kind of an anti-trend. We're breaking down, and yet the trend is to the upside. However, if the breakout is to the upside, well, now that's with the trend of the 5-minute and the 10-minute, and it would take it. Can you explain the filters? Filters in a general sense are just additional checks you have. So for example, okay, your one filter might be, is this a 10-minute Orbo breakout to the upside? That's filter one. Are you above or below the previous high? If you're above, go long. You could add on other filters of maybe you realize from your studies that a certain day of the week is better or worse. Maybe it's really good Monday and Tuesday, bad Wednesday, but good Thursday and Friday. So maybe that's a filter, a day of the week filter. Maybe you notice certain months of the year are bad, so you skip entire months, or maybe a week of the month is better or worse. Maybe your filter is based on news and you're like, okay, hang on. I don't do it on Fridays because I know a lot of news comes out at 10 a.m. So I just skip that one. That's another example. You could do momentum readings. You could do RSI readings. You could do any filter. I mean, you could do astrology filters if you want. You could say, is Mercury in retrograde? That's all up to you. And it kind of comes to just you and how creative you are. In my personal experience, and please understand, I'm not saying this from a point of like mathematically proven, like with rigor. I found that the sweet point is around 3 filters where, okay, you're being specific about what you want, but it's not so over engineered that it's not trading at all. I found just like, I think that's enough where you're being like kind of picky and specific, but you're not being so extreme that the system just never trades. So, and once again, please take that with, I don't know, a pinch of salt. Can you filter out certain news events? You could do literally whatever you want. Can you filter out certain news events? Yeah, it's up to you, team. It's up to you. All right. We popped up. We tried to go red to green on the SPY, got rejected. Q's popped up as well. We are quickly coming back to the intraday low, and it looks like the Russell is leading us to the downside, followed by tech, followed by the overall market. We don't need this right now. Let me show you the options flow. I have a feeling it's about to get hit. or it's been getting hit. Yep, right there. There's the Mag 7. We had a push up until roughly 938. Delta comes undone. Price quickly follows. That's exactly where we're at. And let me show you this. Same thing here. SPY actually had two different spikes, lasted about the first 8 minutes, and now getting hit. So the delta is now at a fresh delta low, as in the options markets, the measurably the weakest it's been, as VIX is starting to pump. Watch the VIX today. The VIX yesterday was a telltale sign that things were going to get bad. Even though when price was looking good yesterday on an intraday basis, vol was spiking, which was a huge mismatch. And many of you guys were tagging me on Twitter saying, hey man, I heard you call that out, so I knew not to be bullish. And then you had a very timely bearish position and made a shitload of money. Congrats to you. Can I filter in whatever Matt Kohrs does, best trader east of the Allegheny? We could sell that API, brother. We could sell it. All right, new intraday high. Folks, I'm telling you, the watch level is here. Right here, this 10-point zone, 6,600 big open interest level, psychological level. 94 is the low from yesterday. And then we also have this longer term trend line that, where the fuck did it go? Right. I don't know what I was drawing. That looks ugly. Hang on. All right, let's delete this and get a better one. My apologies. Remember, my mom took Tylenol. My mom took Tylenol for sure. All right. That is not the same sloping trend line. What trend line did I have? Was it all the way back here? No, well, that's not right. I don't know, folks. I'm all jacked up on acetaminophen. You're going to have to excuse me. But anyway, there's some form of a trend line, which I've now deleted. But anyway, I'm just telling you, watch this 10-point region. There very well could be dip buyers right here. You have a key technical level, psychological level, open interest level, 6,600. You have yesterday's low, a key psychological level at 94, and you have more open interest at 90. Watch this 10-point zone. If I were a dip buyer, I wouldn't just arbitrarily buy this dip. I would say, do we come in here and bounce out? Because if I see this pattern, if I were bullish today, which I am not, but if I were, I would be looking either for a bounce out and I'd go long on the bounce out and my risk would be whatever the dip low is, or maybe even a double bottom situation and I would be a bit more patient, but same thing. I would be looking for the bounce, the recovery, and the hold is 6,600, risking whatever the low is in here. That would be my bull case, which my opinion is that's not what I'm looking for today, especially if we take out yesterday's low. If we crack 94, I think that's going to be a big psychological win for the bears. But once again, that's just conjecture, not actual math. Now, if I'm bearish, I'd be looking for the push into here, a dead cat bounce, and then a failure all the way down to 70. Is that the new level? Yeah, so some people are playing 70, but the big level is actually now down here at 40. So I have to do a little bit of redrawing. All right, so hang on. Everyone, find a horse and hold it because your boy is drawing. All right, 70. Okay. And actually, is that 90 level still there? No, it is not. It is not. Okay, so we're deleting this. Okay, so first real region that I would, if there's a bounce, I'd be looking right here, this rough 7 to 10 point region. If that doesn't hold, I'm looking for a failure down to 5,570. If it does bounce, I'm looking for a push back up to 2025. That's the if then statement. Matt is on speed today. Today, try every day, brother. Try every day. Options flow is recovering a little bit ever since 944. S&P 500, same thing. Ever since 944, we are bouncing off the delta low, but still not really that close to the intraday high. The Mag 7 is actually looking pretty lethargic. What do we have? Ooh, interesting. No one's buying calls. This is people getting out of puts. So this is making the bull case that much weaker. No one is getting calls. What you're seeing this little bounce back up is because puts are being sold, but calls are not being bought. So you're removing negative delta, but you are not adding positive delta. As of now, I get that there's a bounce here, but not all bounces are made the same, folks. I would feel more confident about this bounce if I saw people getting into calls, but they're not. They're getting out of longer dated puts. Oh, right there. Hang on. Some calls just came in as this updated just now at 9:48. Let's watch this. I would feel way more comfortable about this bounce, way more comfortable, if this keeps going. It's interesting to me that this is being put driven right now. And it's longer dated puts as well. We haven't seen that in a minute. What's going on with the Mag 7? Same thing in the Mag 7. People were selling calls. They're not really buying them. Puts were a little bit flat, but they're getting sold. Interesting setup. How's the VIX looking? The VIX is taking a hit. Let's see. Did we actually touch it? Bullish, bullish, testing, bearish. Bullish, bullish, testing, bearish. All right. We're right back up to 2.5. Okay, so that bounce, we never touched 6,600. We are back up to this positive gamma zone right here. Wow. I can't get over just like how much there isn't going on right now. Like even this, the positive gamma that was ahead, above, I should say, is starting to erode. It's those plays are literally just getting dropped, which is kind of interesting. I wouldn't necessarily interpret that to be bullish or bearish. It would mean that there's actually less resistance above, as in if buyers really step in, you could see a faster pop. Because remember, positive gamma just slows you down. It's not bullish or bearish. It's more bullish or bearish depending on the direction you're coming from. But as you could see, some of that positive gamma that was above, thus acting as resistance, is eroding. It's just disappearing right now, even though we're at those strikes, which means theoretically it's easier to break. But it's kind of like a trade-off in a weird sense. This is now going to be easier to break through, but it means if we get up there, it's also less stable, as in it could be kind of what we saw yesterday where we had, what was it? A quick pop. Like we had this high, it fought back up at 1040, and then it got smashed anyway. So
order submitted.
Icarus is doing something. Oh, it was too fast. Icarus, what are you doing, buddy? Oh, wait, it didn't fill. I don't like this long at all. What the fuck is Icarus going for? Icarus. Pal. What are you seeing out there?
Target filled.
All right, that was on one, but Icarus, like I said, it's two different Orbo strategies now that we're running with. So one of them just locked in 195. The other one is doing something crazy. Let's see. It's swinging it. Icarus is swinging it today. Icarus knows what it's doing. You're not wrong. Icarus trades exponentially better than I do because Icarus doesn't have human emotion problems. It has, it's just cold. It's heartless while I go on tilt. What the fuck? I don't know what's going on. My other computer over here that's monitoring some of options flow for me is just getting absolutely... My computer is like literally just yelling at me. I'll have to figure that out later. Anyway, two different Orbo strategies running. The first one, as you can see, already hit, locked in 195. The other one's a bit of a runner, currently up 450. And it's long two contracts. It's trying to lock in one above 800, which I think is fucking crazy. All right, that's insane. But we're going to see how this one plays out. We'll see what Icarus knows that I don't know. A little bit of... And the reason it took the bullish breakout is because, once again, the 5-minute and the 10-minute...
Target filled.
All right. So it locked in one, locked in $600. Oh, wait, these traded as well. Huh. Well, that's a nice surprise. So it locked in one, and then you can see programmatically it just moved the stop to break even. So this is now a free ride. It's a runner, which I love doing on these accounts, the FFN, the Funded Futures Networks, because remember, the drawdown is not unrealized, it's realized. So you might as well do a break-even trade because you're not punished for it. If I'm fortunate and catch a runner, I get nothing but upside, like this. right now. That's not bad. 1,500, 1,600. Looks like Icarus knows what's up. Actually, it's still climbing. Icarus. How much more slippage Icarus gets versus a real human being? Neither, because a real human would submit the same orders that Icarus does. Human orders versus Icarus orders, it's the same order type. The only difference would be Icarus is going to fire off the order at the exact moment that the system says, while a human might have a little bit of a delay, but it's the same type of order, and it's the type of order that's going to have the slippage. All right, what's going on here? What do we have going on? Are we making that move to 50? Like I said, we lost some of this positive gamma, man. We're kind of watching 65 up here. There's still a little bit of positive gamma, but way less than we saw this morning. Whatever this play was at 45, it was there, now gone. But we are running into a little bit of a hedge wall. Then there's the 6665. We'll see how that plays out. But, we're also running into the, I guess, overnight. So that means that this is now massively important. This low that we saw at 940, 24,672, that's going to become incredibly important. And it looks like Icarus still has this. It looks like it's, 2.3K in running. Not bad. Not bad for a little Tylenol system. A little acetaminophen system. I wouldn't mind, though, if it... When's it going to... So right now it's a freebie play. What's it doing, though? As you can see, the stop's at break even. But it's just fucking ripping it. This is almost up 100 points. It's up 90 points right now. Wow. That's crazy. What a buy. What a buy. It got up 94 points at its max. We got a runner. We got a runner. Oh, it should be updating its risk somewhat soon. Maybe not. Maybe it'll turn completely around. Do I want... I might manually update it, because right now Icarus likes to let things run. It does. But I'm almost thinking about moving the stop up and just being more aggressive with the pullback. I'm looking at some of these recent lows. I could just set it up to 50, because this is good money. Why would I want to give this up? Remember, wow, dude, it just keeps going. Holy shit. This is just cooking. But I'm right now, the stop's at break even. So it's locked in 600. So 600 is guaranteed, but there's a runner of whatever. But what if this just gets smashed? I'm thinking about a manual override here on Icarus at 40, because I kind of just want to have a good day, make some good money. I mean, it's up 2K. I'm watching this recent low at 47, because when things come undone, they could get undone quick, and I'd feel really stupid to be up 2K and then be like, yeah, I actually gave it all back, because the stop is right now just at break even, which is 80 points below. That just doesn't really feel like good risk management. 10 a.m. reversal incoming. I have no idea if it is, but it's actually because we've been seeing so much of that why I'm hesitant, because we've been seeing a lot of 10 a.m. I think I might just take this money.
Order filled.
Boom. 1.7K locked in. Read them and weep, losers. So technically, I overrode the system, but whatever. So the enhanced Orbo strategy made 195. The enhanced Orbo strategy with Icarus made 1.7, and then the normal one, just like the run of the mill, made 71, 71, and 71. It was the same one. I accidentally bought 3 extra accounts, so I just applied it just to see how things go out to collect more data. So anyway, enhanced Orbo, $200. Enhanced Orbo with Icarus, 1.7. Normal Orbo, 72, 72, 72. So that's how everything has played out thus far. And if I am not wrong, these 3 can still trade. 71, 71, 71. These ones can still trade, but the enhanced Orbo and the enhanced Orbo with Icarus are donezo for the day. So this is officially the conclusion. 195 and 1.7. These ones, not so much. These ones can make money. These ones can still lose money. We'll be watching that closely. We will be watching that closely. Closely. What time is it? It is almost 10. We've been seeing a lot of 10 a.m. reversals, folks. I'm watching Vol. Pay attention to Vol. Vol was the real indication yesterday. Matt, you better close your puts. Randy, I'm not really in the business of taking trade advice from other people. I kind of just trade my own account, and I have a feeling that we just have very different opinions of the market and how to trade. So it's cool. Don't worry. I'll take care of my account. You take care of your account, and maybe we'll both have success. But this idea of just randomly trading from other people, Vol's picking up, folks. We might have a fake out here. Oh, wow. Did we pop up to a level that I told you was the top of the transition zone and a potential rejection level just to get rejected to the tune of 16 points? No, that would have never happened. Matt would have never been able to call those levels out. No way do we get rejected as VIX is spiking and puke all the way to 6,600. That would never happen. No, we're not having another 10 a.m. reversal. It's not like anyone's ever been noticing 10 a.m. reversals lately. That would be absolutely crazy. All right, folks, if you haven't already, do not forget to get involved in the giveaway. It is free. All you have to do is like, retweet, and follow. It is all on Twitter, Matt_Kohrs. It's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. We're giving away $150 of cold hard cash. We're giving away 5 different FFN futures accounts, and we're giving away 5 different options accounts from Vanquish. Obviously, on Vanquish, that code Goonie will get you 70% off, no activation fee, and the same code Goonie will get you 50% off. When you buy one, you're going to get another one, and there's no activation fee on funded futures networks. So if you're a futures trader, check out FFN. If you're an options trader, check out Vanquish. And if you are a racer, well, we're going to be racing in a little bit. All pinned to the top of chat, all in the description of the video. This is where it's going to get exciting. Right here. All right, watching the VIX. The VIX popped, it puked, it popped again. The market popped, kind of came back. The question here is this the high or low? I don't know. I'll willfully admit I don't know if this is the high or low or not, but we got a puke, and the question is, can it recover? If it's a high or low, yeah, the bulls have a shot because that's higher highs, that's higher lows. By definition, that is a bullish trend. However, if we end up cracking this, and this is why I'm marking it, actually, I should mark out this high too. If we take out the high, that's like clearly bullish at least on the 1 minute time frame, without a doubt. It's just, I think a lot of people try to overcomplicate trend analysis. And in my book, all you have to do is look at the highs and the lows. Do you have a succession of higher highs and higher lows? Great, you're in a bullish phase. Do you have a succession of lower highs and lower lows? Great, you're in a bearish phase. If you have higher highs and lower lows, that's an expanding pattern, a microphone pattern. It's the worst shit because you don't know who's dominant. And then the other one is lower highs and higher lows. That's consolidation, and you just have to be patient and wait. So 2 out of the 4 possible combinations are tradable. Higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows. You're either bullish or bearish. Great, trade with trend. The other 2, you have to be patient. The consolidation one is evident because you don't know which way you're going. And the other one is so extreme, the higher highs and the lower lows, that you're kind of like, what the fuck is going on right now? So Two of them are tradable. The other two, for different reasons, literally just need you to be patient, and you just have to wait there. So right now, what do we have? Well, okay, that's a higher high. That's a higher high. This could be a higher low right here. That's what we're waiting. What's going to be interesting is the size of this pop, and does this recent low at 10.01 hold? If 10.01 does hold, I would argue from 9:45 until whatever moment it is, the bulls are in control. If we snap the 10.01 low, well, all of a sudden we might have a lower high, the high we're putting in right now. And if we take out that low, by definition, you have to have a lower low. So we might be switching from a bullish trend to a bearish trend. Also, on this note, whenever you are looking at trends or attempting to identify trends, please understand that it's hyper specific to the time frame you are on. The trend on the 1 minute might not be the trend on the 5 minute, might not be the trend on the 10 minute. Like, you get the idea. But price trend is hyper specific to the exact time frame you are paying attention to. It's not like the 1 minute trend is always in agreement with the 10 minute, which is always in agreement with the daily. Sometimes they all agree. And I would say that when they all agree, you actually have better odds. But a lot of the times you have a mix match situation. A mix match situation. Are we double topping here? What's the flow look like? What does the flow look like? The S&P 500, it popped, gave us that pop, dropped, now flat, no real trend. The Mag 7 popped, dropped, huge pop, and now just kind of flat, but it looks like price is getting a little bit of an upswing. So big pop until about 955, 956. Now just kind of going a bit flat. And the market's trying to decide here. Both the SPY and the Qs are slightly green, while the Russell is more so red. Obviously, this white horizontal line is the closing line from yesterday. So that's going to be really your red-green move. Your red-green move. Vol on the bottom right of your screen taking a little bit of a hit. I'm seeing there was a strong trend in the Mag 7, which it lost, but it's not getting hit. So we're in a weird phase. A weird phase where we have to just be patient. A weird phase. All right. Are we going to crack? Oh. If this shows weakness, I might throw on a short here. I might manually trade a short.
Order submitted.
All right. I'm not in a
Order
trade.
submitted.
I'm not in a trade. I have a pending order for if it breaks down. I don't want to miss it. That's a big if, though. Pending order, no live position as of this moment, at least for my futures, my active trading. I'm more of, sometimes those pukes happen real quick. I have the pending order just in case that happens. I don't want to miss out. Okay, let's see. Let's see how this one goes. It's a big if. Is there another day of accumulation, manipulation, distribution? Maybe, if you want to overcomplicate it. I'm watching this closely. I'm nervous. Oh, brother. It's flirting with my entry. I'm fighting the delta. Oh, we're in.
Order submitted.
Wait, that's not the right account. I wanted it to be 20 flat there. Lock it in. Give me a free play. Give your boy... Nope. Fuck. Free play. Free roll. No. Fuck. That's a bummer. It got close. Generally, I'm here complaining about What was this high? Generally, I complain about, oh, I'm within 1 tick, but to be fair, that was a 2 tick difference. How far did that go? Whoop. Is it going to come get me? Come on, just give me a free play. Free roll. Free roll for your boy on a Friday. Shit. Dude, this is moving it's moving 5 points like it's nothing. Come on, free roll. Free roll for your boy. If you don't know what I'm like kind of joking about when I say that, the second this gets filled, I'm going to move my stop to break even because why not? Why risk anything? Come on, give your boy a free roll. Free roll. Free roll Fridays. Free roll Friday. Free roll Friday. Technically, I'm taking on a little bit of risk. I'm watching that recent high. Maybe I should just move it to break even. How do I feel about this? How do I feel? Free roll Friday. Free roll Friday. Free roll, pre-roll. Free roll, pre-roll. Free roll, pre-roll, C-roll. Well, if everything goes right, this will be my one trade of the day. If everything goes according to plan, this will be my one trade of the day. That's not really my profit target. I'm just moving it down because I don't want to go beyond that, but I'm just going to keep trailing this. Just to clarify, I'm not saying there's anything special about that level. I just don't want to go beyond it, is really what I'm saying. Actually, I think my math is a little off. I think I don't want to go beyond this, but looks like it's coming for me anyway. And hey, if it hits me, that's going to suck, but whatever. I locked in some money. I gave it a good college try, and I think that's really what matters. Remember, when it comes to trading, it doesn't matter are you making money or losing money. It's about the friends you make on the way. Actually, I could probably move my risk now back to break even. Or maybe I move it to that tick. It'll probably blow me out if it's going to hit that anyway. All right, my stop is now in profit. So I locked in $400 per account. Well, and then I locked in a little bit more of money on this stuff. So if it hits me, it hits me. It's coming for me. Stop it. Stop it. No. No. Get away. Harry Potter. No. Stop. Get away. Not Harry Potter. No. Expelliarmus. No. No. Get away. Dobby is a free elf. Dobby is a free elf.
Order
Fuck.
filled.
Dobby's not a free elf. Well, whatever. Locked in $470 per account. It wasn't my time to catch the death of the market. It happens. Happens to the best of us. But what you could watch is either this bullish recovery, or you could watch this bearish breakdown. Could be an interesting consolidation. Dobby always gets kicked. I just got kicked out. All right.
Order target filled.
What the fuck was that? Oh, remember those other ones that I told you could keep trading? They just traded right there. Where were those? Right here. They just took that breakout trade. That was the basic code. All right. So how are we looking? We're up 470 on all the Apex accounts. On the funded futures, we're up 201.7. And then on just some test code I'm running, we're up 143. Honestly, I could probably just call it here. You know, we could probably just call it a day right now. I took a shot at the breakdown. We actually we have it confirmed. Higher highs and higher lows. So intraday, bulls are winning. Russell's looking very lethargic. VIX just took a hit. Tesla's up a lot. Tesla is up. Palantir's up quite a bit as well. So tech is starting to fight. Tech is starting to fight. Let's see. Let's see how it reacts to 50. I don't know if I would personally be chasing it right at this level because resistance is right here. Of course, it might break out and run and you're not going to feel any heat. But for me, with respect to risk to reward, I don't think that this is a smart trade at the moment because what's your risk all the way down here? Like, that's a very large risk. That's a 20-point risk for a potential rejection right at this level. However, if we break, pull back, have a new higher low, all right, well, you already broke the level, your risk is higher, it's this higher low, and then maybe you play it up to 65, maybe. But key level, all I can tell you, I have no prediction. All I can tell you is you could react to this. This is a key level. It's a very important level. Do you get above or do you get rejected below? That's all I could possibly tell you. That's all anyone could honestly tell you if they actually know how to trade. I know that there's going to be a lot of people out there telling you, oh, I predicted this and I knew this was going to happen. They don't know shit. They don't know fuck all. The game of trading is very much a game of just admitting what you don't know and not attempting to control the uncontrollables. You never know when we're going to get random announcements or tweets or developments. And this past week of trading has been a glaring example of that, an evident example of that. All right, we are right at 50, which was the recovery zone of yesterday. So yesterday, maybe I could show you better on the 15-minute. You see how we puked, we bounced to this zone. This is kind of the apex of the bounce. Technically, we got up to 64. So we're watching this zone to see if this bounce is going to be stronger than the bounce we had midday yesterday. Let's see. So on a 0 DTE basis, we are on the bullish side of the 0 DTE transition zone. And now we're halfway through the swing transition zone. Remember, 6,700 down to 6,600 is the overall, in my book, bull bear case. Wow. I'm happy I got out of that position for break even because this thing is still just ripping right now. I would have been steamrolled. Absolutely steamrolled. All right, let's see. How is the gamma structure hasn't changed much. I don't know. Something about this. If we hold 50, all right, on a short time period, I would understand what the bulls are talking about. But I'm not so convinced. And maybe that sounds like a little bit of a Debbie Downer, but I mean, just look at yesterday. We had a nice bounce at 1040. We bounced. We looked like we were getting hit. We bounced. We put in this higher low, and it just got rocked at 1120. The day before that, Wednesday, we had a beautiful bounce till 1010 and then vomited. It's just like we've just been seeing so many fake outs. Even Monday, we popped, but then we opened up way lower on Tuesday. On Friday, when we actually peaked, that was at 1050. So I get that it's seeming bullish right now, but I guess I'm a little bit gun shy, if you will, just because of recent history tells me that things have been looking good in the morning, and then somewhere between 10:30 and 11:30, like all hell breaks loose, and then depending on the day, the afternoon session can go from bad to like absolutely brutal. So that's why I'm trying to say, hang on, like prove it to me that you can actually hold this zone. If you can hold this zone, all right, cool. I might be mopping up your spill. If you can't hold this zone, this feels like people getting chased into it, a bull trap, and then they dump them back to 30, and then potentially 20, and then 6,600. So I'm hesitant on this one. I am hesitant. I'm in the prove it to me type of a mindset. I'm also watching this trend line. Tesla is moving and grooving. Tesla up 2.3%, and it is really, really going. All right. We're not that far out, so reminder, sign up for the giveaway. It is free. We're doing it today, couple minutes. All you have to do is like, retweet, and follow. Pinned at the top of chat in the description of the video. Code Goonie will get you a fat discount on FFN. Code Goonie, Gooni, will get you a fat discount on Vanquish. And on top of 5 accounts, 10 accounts in total, we're also doing $150 of cold hard cash. So just wanted to call that out. Right now, starting at 9:45 to this moment, the SPY and the Q still have higher highs and higher lows. There was a questionable lower high here, which I was playing at 10:06, but then we ended up just putting in another higher low, or you could call it a double bottom, and then we popped off that anyway. So it kind of invalidated this high. And really, for a bullish trend, the succession of the lows are higher. For a bearish trend, the succession of the highs are lower. You want to look at the other side, or like intuitively the other side. So that's why in this one, I was more than willing to aggressively move my stop, because I was playing it off a lower high. But remember, for a bullish trend, you're looking at the lows, and all of a sudden, when we didn't make a fresh low, we popped up, no fresh low, which I was playing for. All right, time for me to get out. I'm overstaying my welcome. So I know it sounds a little bit opposite, but if you're bullish and you're looking at a bullish trend, you really care about the lows. If you're bearish and you really want to be bearish, you should really care about the highs. Because by definition, how could you be bearish if you're making fresh highs? How could you be bullish if you're making fresh lows? So right here, higher highs, higher lows. So across the board, the SPY and the Q is looking good. Tesla looking phenomenal. Palantir also looking pretty good. But what's interesting is the low is at the closing value. So I have this alert set out that really it should be more like this. If I were on top of my A game right now, these would be the exact alerts I care about. Tesla getting a technical breakout. Okay, so now on the SPY and the Qs, I have the appropriate alerts. We have a fresh high alert and we have a fresh low alert. The high just came now at 10:15 and the low a little bit closer to 10:09. So clearly higher highs, higher lows. In fact, we might be putting in another higher low right now, right at the trend line that we're seeing in the SPY, which also might be a recovery of... Okay, so this is interesting. This is we overshot this key technical, psychological, whatever level you want to call it, but 6650 is important. It's the top of the transition zone. It was a high. We overshot it. This will be telling. Can the market recover on these big breakouts? My base assumption is we're always going to retest. This is the retest. Do we successfully put in a higher low and get above this level, or is it a failure and then we crack this trend line? Patience, patience, patience. Let's watch and see. This is going to be pretty telling. Do people want to get... Whoa, the Mag 7 is ripping. The S&P 500 was ripping, and now there's nothing. There was a tiny bit of profit taking on that first punch above 6650, but now it's flat. Well, we got another spike and a hit. This is going to be it. This is the telling level. This is all of a sudden seeming a lot like yesterday, folks. A lot like yesterday, where somewhere in the 10 a.m. hour, we get this overextension to the upside. It doesn't hold, and then it pukes. Confirmation of that has not been made, but you could be a bit more confident if we snap the 10-10 low on the SPY and the Qs. But we are testing this trend line on the SPY. We're coming up to it on the Qs. But the most concerning thing is how much profit taking just happened at 6650, which you can see measurably right here. Remember, the green line are 0 DTE calls. We pop up into it, calls are sold. Most likely profit taking. And people also got puts. So the delta dropped at 2x the speed. Calls were sold, puts were bought. Don't rush anything right here. Do we bounce off the trend line, confirm another higher low? That would be bullish, or are we about to get smacked? The Mag 7 is really representing bullishness, though. Like, I know the SPY is a little bit questionable here. See how it's starting to dip? But golly, that Mag 7 is not giving up. Someone just said the mags are saving this shit show. Without a doubt, the Mag 7's looking crazy strong right now. If tech wasn't looking this strong, I have a feeling the SPY would look way, way worse. All right, the SPY is testing the trend line. The Qs are coming up to it. Tesla's looking great. Palantir's looking great. Nvidia's looking solid. AMD's looking good. Microsoft's looking good. Avago not so much. Apple was looking good. Oracle's getting hit, down 6.7%. CoreWeave is getting hit. SoFi is fine. Oklo, little recovery. Some of these major tech names, though, are looking pretty good, which is probably why the Mag 7 is looking so good. So if it continues, yeah, it's going to save the overall market. However, all of a sudden, if those names, which is not a long list of names, if Tesla gives up, if Nvidia gives up, if Microsoft gives up, if Apple gives up, that's the only things that are really trending up right now. So it seems as if today, the weight of the world, the weight of the market is on the back of the Mag 7, which feels like it's very important to watch this end. The combo of Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Tesla. If this can keep up with its trend, it'll probably save the market on an intraday basis. However, if those start to falter, that could get Mag 7. Is there a way to just track the Mag 7? Leverage, I don't want that. Mag, is there an ETF for the Mag 7? Does anyone know? Like, I actually haven't. I mean, I know it exists. I just don't know the ticker. Magnificent. And it's not there. Roundhill Mag 7 ETF. Is it Mags? Okay, we could watch Mags. And then we could also watch VIX. VIX is getting hit. So as long as these two are going away from each other, the bulls are probably in control. If the Mags is going up and the VIX is going down, bulls probably have a fighting chance. If this current trend reverses, all of a sudden, if we don't see higher highs and higher lows, and the Mag 7 takes out some of the recent lows, if the VIX all of a sudden starts to make fresh highs, that is like the real reversal. But as of now, the fact that they are going away from each other, bullish. If they're coming to each other, if the VIX goes up and the Mag 7 goes down, that probably represents a clear rejection at 6650, which is what we're all kind of awkwardly waiting to see if it happens or not. But as of now, we might just be seeing a higher low. Seems like the market is indecisive. The Delta popped, kind of, just took a hit. Literally as I switched to it, the Delta, what happened there? No one. It was longer dated puts. Someone got into a little chunk right here of longer dated puts, no zero DT, and a little bit of call selling. Hang on. Second test, third test, depending on, I don't know. The movement, you could almost feel the consolidation here. We're not breaking this level, but we're also getting higher lows. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Who is gonna win? And it was bought right back up. Look at that. That's crazy. Someone, I wonder what the hell happened there. Someone bought puts and then sold puts. Was that like a accidental trade? Look at that. Just quickly undone. Seconds later, like boop, boop. Wow. Oh, what are we looking at? Actually, it looks like on NQ, there's a little bit of a fake out breakdown here. Let me get rid of these lines because they don't really mean anything to me at the moment. But what I'm talking about is a little bit of a fake out here at 1022 compared to this low at 1020. I bet people waited for the dip, popped up, went long, used that low as the risk, and then boom, wicked out. That's brutal. Did that happen to any of you? Did any of you try to go long in here just to use that risk as your low and you got wicked out even though you'd now be in profit anyway? I mean, you see that shit a lot and it's frustrating. And as a trader, there's not much you could do about it because you don't know if the breakout's a real, or excuse me, in this case, a breakdown. You don't know if it's a real breakdown. You have to honor it as if it is a real breakdown because if it keeps going, you'll lose your account. But it is psychologically a hit for sure. It is psychologically a hit without a doubt. All right. Well, it looks like a little bit of recovery to me. Prices on top of the EMAs. You popped up, you pulled back, I tried to hit it. Nope. Higher low, higher low. Uh-oh. Actually, did I speak too soon? Did I speak too soon? I might have said something a little too soon, folks. Going flat. So price is getting hit right now, but options aren't necessarily reacting. We're on the 0 DTE. Dude, there is no real things going on here. I just need you guys to please understand this. If we fall, if this happens at some point and we're not trading or something today, I'm only seeing negative gamma beneath pretty much to 6,540. So if we drop, which is a giant if we drop, it could be quick with the support a little bit at 6,570, but most of the support is at 6,540, which is pretty much the low we saw from Friday a week ago. All right, I'm marking out this low because remember, in a bullish trend, you just care about the succession of lows. Are your lows getting higher? So I would say, well, the mags are still looking good. VIX is actually low. Folks, we're just watching this 1021 low. Because if we take that out, that would be the first lower low that we've seen since really the opening session here today. Oh, do I want to risk this? If I take this breakdown trade, my risk is 20 points. If I do it on 2 contracts, that's $800. If I'm wrong, worst case scenario is I'm down net 400 on the day. Am I okay with going down net 400? Am I all right with that? Am I okay? It's getting whippy too. People are reacting to the 900.
Order submitted.
Free play, free play, free play, free roll, free roll. Give me a free roll. Free roll. Free roll, free roll. Give me a free roll. Free roll. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Free roll, free roll. Fuck. Free roll, yes or no? Am I getting a free roll? The sad thing is, when I first looked at it, I was at 900. I was slow to it. I got a 9-point fill later. If I was in at 900, I probably would have already locked in one, and at this point, I'd almost be getting out for break even. But let's see. Play's not over. Play is not over. I'm almost thinking about de-risking even more. Come on, just give me that free roll. There we go. Free roll Friday. Free roll. Free roll Friday. All right, let me manage this. I don't necessarily love the concept of a free roll here just because it feels like 91 isn't that special. So do I want to move my stop to 900, that retest, 98, or do I just want to not risk anything? But if I don't risk anything here, the chance of this getting stopped out is very, very high. Where do I want to put my risk? Fuck it. I'm probably over trading anyway. Yep. Risk is break even. Free roll. I'm not going to risk shit. Let's see how it goes. High odds I get knocked out of this because it's not at any key level. It's just seemingly arbitrary because I just didn't get the highest quality fill. But whatever. I would say there's probably like a super majority chance I get knocked out. But on the flip side, that maybe people overreact and maybe options dump. Maybe I'll get a flush all the way down. Fuck it. Not the best entry, but I don't mind the risk management. I think it's good risk management, poor entry, but we did crack that low. And remember, when you're cracking it, is it a fake out or not? I don't know. No one knows. That's my entire point, is sometimes you just have to be honest of like what's in your control and what's not. And the only thing in my control right now is my trade management. Where the price goes, dude, that's dependent on other people. But we did get a trend line crack. Next stop is the green to red move on the SPY and a slight overshoot of that on the Qs if we keep going down. Is it coming for me? Oh, do I just want to be even more aggressive here? Because then, like, it would at least guarantee me a bit more money instead of break even. I'm actually thinking about moving it down even more. Or do I let it breathe? Or do I let it breathe? All right, we're a little bit in the money. Oh. Are we waterfalling, folks? Are we waterfalling? Looks like we caught a hot one. We caught a fish. See, this is the point of fishing, is you never know what you're gonna catch, folks. You never know if the thing you got is the good, it's the white whale, Moby Dick's white whale, or is it a bullshit trade? That is not in your control. What is in your control is your risk management. That, like, I'm gonna be pounding that into everyone's head because I just don't hear enough other people talking about it. I hear people trying to like make up bullshit models, this, that, the other thing. It is risk management. And you just want to stay alive long enough to maybe stay around to catch the fish. And when you catch the runner, you ride it. You ride it until you can, because you need this winner to pay off your losers. That's how this game works. You never know when you catch it. And if you catch it, don't get out too early because you need it to pay the other ones. If we break right here, obviously I'm moving my stop to 50. I'm just going to keep doing it. We're just trending. 2K per account. I have 20 accounts. That's $40,000 on top of 195, 1.7, 143, 143. Not a bad day to be me. Not a bad day. Not a bad day to catch that fade. 650 seems to be the SPY number. Maybe. I don't know. All I could tell you is I'm going to ride this down as long as I can. When it reverses, it's eventually going to knock me out. It might be right here. It might be right now. It might get smacked here and it might continue. I have no idea. No say, senor. I don't know. No say. I don't know. I just don't know. Dobby's a free elf. Dobby is a free elf. I don't know. I think one aspect of trading that's so difficult is, like, in general, humans are really, really bad at admitting, like, when not only what they don't know, but when you're wrong. And what's funny about trading is those are the two things you have to be like distinctly good at, is admitting what you don't know and admitting when you're wrong. That's racist. Oh yeah. So, folks, it's not racist. It's technically speciesist against elves, if you want to be like accurate. I'm not saying what I said was appropriate, but it's not racist. It's speciesist. It's against the mystical, magical kingdom of Harry Potter, and specifically the elf kind of Harry Potter. So, if you want to get the Dementors to come after me, have at it. You think I'm afraid of those pussy ass Dementors? They can lick my sack for all I care. They can lick my sack. Fucking Azkaban? More like Azkaban fucking loser. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. $600. I just need to be careful about the potential rebound because it could be sizable. The ATR is hopping up like no other. You think we're going to bounce off of 800? I don't know. No sé. I don't know. Je ne sais quoi. I actually don't know what that means, and I say it a lot, and it pisses my wife off if I'm being completely honest. Azkaban is a prison. Yes, it is, Trex. Yes, it is. As you can tell, I've basically taken the concept of the consistency rule and thrown it out the fucking window today. Wow. We bounced right off of 800. Is it going to be a 40 points bounce? Is this going to be enough to knock me out? I knew a bounce was coming in here. I had visions of grandeur. It wouldn't be this large. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Well, it feels like I can move my stop to that level then. Dude, we're just following it, folks. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I can't tell you how to be a free elf, but I can tell you. Hang on, I'm trying to do some mental math here. This should be 3K in an account. Should be. I feel as this $60,000 is enough for me today. Oh, I just don't know. Do I want the risk to be right here or do I want it to be up here? Or does it not matter? Is it just going to hit my profit target? I'm going for 3K per account. Did you miss Payday Friday? No. I'm in the middle of attempting to try to make the money that I'm going to need to pay you guys for Payday Friday and to pay for all those prop accounts that I'm giving away. Dude, that's a sizable bounce. I might not be able to use this risk. That's a large range. 80. That's almost 50 fucking points. That's $1,000. I don't know if I could use this. Shit. I mean, I know it's the natural pivot point, but golly, that's a lot of points if it clips me here. Come on, just die right there so I can move my wrist to this level. I just want to move my wrist down. Fuck. I just need a better pivot point. It's too far away. It all happens so fast. Fuck. Oh, it's going to hit me. Son of a gun.
Order filled.
All right. 1.8K. I tried my hardest. I tried. It was just too big of a bounce, guys. That was a sizable bounce, and I can't... Like, I knew there would be some sort of bounce off of 800. was hoping it wasn't that big. And I think we retest, honestly. I think if I didn't have to worry about unrealized drawdown, I think if I kept my stop at my entry, like all the way back up here, 891, which I'm not saying is good risk management, but I bet if I use that of just like willing to go back to break even, I bet I could have rode that back down to 75 at some point. But alas, I have to care about risk management. And since there's a chance that maybe it does bounce all the way back off this key level, sweeping that low, little fake out, it's just not worth the risk. Of course, you could always get back in. That's one of the beautiful things about futures is there is no pattern day trading. So you could trade as much as you want. How are you going to pay the ball game winner with only 1.8K? I made 1.8K on 20 accounts. So it's 1.8K multiplied by 20, which is $36,000. And then I made another 2K right there. Fuck. Do I want to take this failure? This is what I was watching. Of course this has to happen. Okay, if I enter here, though, I'm going to be wrong by 30 points, which would be 1,200. So I'd only be up 600. Fuck. I knew it. I felt it in my bones. Alas, a feeling in your bones is not a good reason to trade. Is in fact
Order submitted.
90. Wait, what the fuck? A rate limit has been hit? Hello? What the fuck does that mean?
Order canceled. Order submitted.
Sell buy limit.
Order submitted.
All right, I think that should work. I'm getting some weird order issues. I sized down. I went to one contract, but in all reality, I kind of got knocked off my game there by whatever the fuck that order issue was. Okay, let me think about how I want to actually do this. Where's the 5? I want... This is the 500. Hang on. I'm trying to think here, which is getting dangerous. We just cracked. We're still bearish. It got rejected here. We're on the 500. Decisions. Part of me almost wonders, part of me wonders if I should just let this one cook. And because like I did size down, so I could take quite a bit more room on this trade. Horrible entry. I've had decent management today, but actually horrible entries. 62. Is it going to be a fucking blow off top here? How much do I want to risk? How much do I want to risk? What was this high? This high was 98. So the previous high was all the way up here at 90. Dude, what is with these fucking orders? I can't move an order. Cancel.
Order canceled.
Oh, I can't place orders. I'm getting a rate limit error. Can I get into positions? How did I fuck up? What is a rate limit order here? So the midpoint would be 20. I'm actually honestly not even sure how I can handle this right now with every time I place an order. Has anyone else seen rate limits where it doesn't accept your order because of whatever fucking ordeal? Hang on, let me see if I can Google this quick because it's not. Has anyone else seen this error where you put in an order and it just rejects your order? Because if so, do I just have to market it out? I'm not sure how to manage this with this situation. Seems not ideal, if you ask me. Should be try starting the application. I'm worried because like it's near my wrist, so I'm worried about restarting it. Fuck. Because like what if I need to manage, but I guess I can't manage it. Do I try a different computer? I don't think it's a computer issue though. It's almost like it's seemingly an issue with the trade copier and like the fact that because I'm copying to 20, so many orders are being put up and I guess it's hitting some sort of issue across the board. Maybe do I need to restart Replicanto? Is it the trade copier that's bust? ChatGPT happens if you have multiple charts, DOMs, or indicators all pulling tick data simultaneously. Fuck, dude. I don't know how to I'm kind of just in the dark. Well, this has become not fun because I really, really wanted to just do proper trade management. And now I'm afraid to hit it because like, what if these old orders are... Fuck. Less than ideal. VIX maybe putting in a higher low. Do I restart? I'm nervous across the board. Bullish, 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 rejected. Bullish, 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 rejected. We're at the closing value. Fuck. Not a fan. Not a fan of the if I had to guess, and I don't have the 100% truth on this, this sounds like it's an issue between the trade copiers and Ninja, and maybe the trade copiers sending way too more orders at once, and they think it's like bullshit, like I guess bullshit orders or something, or maybe it's like an anti-spoofing thing, or... Anyway, sorry, just even though I'm having weird trade issues, which I'm down, I kind of wish I was just out. I would have taken that hit. Fuck. Anyway, Mag 7 a bit flat, SPY. Do I really risk restarting it as it's live? Because I still, even though the orders might not work, I feel like I can still hit flat and all. So it feels like if I go for the restart, that I'm putting myself at additional risk. Do not restart the app. It won't let me in. Okay, now I don't know what to do now. Fuck. Fuck. Dude, of course. It can never be an easy day, folks. You can never, ever have an easy day. We are battling it out at the green to red line, basically the closing value. I can't place orders, but I might be able to do a flat in everything, which is why I'm afraid to like disconnect right now. But my orders I'm getting hit with like some rate limit issue. In all reality, I would have gotten out of this already here at 40. That would have been my risk line, which is where we're at right now, risking half my profits. So I very much wish this bar, I would have been out at 1048. This pop, this right here, this higher low into a higher high, I would have pulled the ripcord already. So just so you guys know, if I end up losing more, I should have lost right here, 900. I was willing to give back half of my profits on the day. So I should be at 900. I just want to be honest and transparent, because if I end up doing well, if this ends up vomiting and I make money, that's not how it was supposed to play out. I want to just be very clear here that I'm not like white knuckling this super, super confident just because it seems we were trending down. We lost it. So if it recovers, that's not worth the risk to me. So I want it very well known that I wish I were out at 40 right here at this bar, at this 1048 bar on this breakout of this high, because we put in a higher low, another higher low. This is a higher high relative to that. I would have been out at 40, 41, something like that. So if this vomits in my favor, sometimes you just get lucky. Sometimes you just get lucky. Everyone's telling me reading, trading, chat. Is there a way I can handle this? Call them, reset rate limits, do not restart the app. You won't be able to log back in. Vendor support. Call them. I can't call them on stream. I think I just have to rip it. I think I have to just rip. I think I have to go for Lady Luck today. Go for Lady Luck. All right. Obviously, the main watch right now is we do officially have lower highs. The question is, are we going to make a lower low? So you have to look at this 1039 low. If we crack that or not, Mag 7 looks like shoulder, head, shoulder. And it looks as if the VIX is picking up, but the real VIX breakout is 2420. So I'd be watching that level or the breakdown of 2360. What if I try killing just the Replicanto thing? Or what if I do individual trade? If I put in individual orders for all 20? I don't know what to do. What if it's not an OCO? What if I just do... What if I just do a single order? Do you think that'll bust it up? Come on. Oh, it worked. It let me put in the order. Okay, so apparently single orders work. I just can't OCO it, and I can't use the bot. So a single order, but I don't think I can move it. I think that fucks it up. Yeah, okay. So I can do a single order placed exactly at it, but I can't move the order. I have to cancel the order and place a new order. What a weird problem. So no moving of pending orders. I just have to kill it, and no OCOs and no bot. It looks as if I could have one order on the chart at a time and no moving it, which was not true as of this morning. That is a weird, I don't know what it is, and I'll worry about it later. And it actually kind of makes me feel, so if it's just orders, maybe it's not actually position management. Maybe I'm fine on management. Maybe my sitting order should be break even, and then I can manually get out. Maybe that's the smartest way to handle this. Never a quiet day. Never a quiet day. So I can have one order up and I'm not allowed to move it. I have to cancel the order. Well, wisdom would then say, put the order at your break even so you're not risking anything. Interesting. Interesting. You know what would make this easier? If it hits, works, and I could just shut it down for the day and stop risking anything. Let's just give me my fill, and then I could just be done, and I don't have to worry about these technical issues. Come on, buddy. Come on. Show me that Macarena. Show me that Macarena. Bounce off of 50. Show me the Macarena. Show me the Macarena. Put your right hand in, take your left hand out, and shake it all about. I almost need to set up alerts on my other chart. But then if that order's pending, I'm at the point where I think I'm just going with pure lady luck at this point, really, where it's just, hey, slap in the order and good luck. All right, we are way behind, but we are still doing a Payday Friday. Sorry, everything got a little bit off track because of some weird order issues I think I'm having because of my trade copier. But anyway, we are doing the Payday Friday. I just need to manage this last trade. Hang on. We're just drawing out some of these lows. We're looking, dude, the VIX just shot up. This was the telltale sign yesterday that something bad was happening. The VIX was showing quite a bit of strength. Mag 7, not really breaking down, but you might want to watch the snap of this neckline at 63.56. Come on, give me my fill. See, what I would love to do is have a dual order that I could just place right here right now. Because then if there's a bounce, whatever. But I can't place OCOs at the moment. I don't know. I haven't tried manually trading. Maybe it would work if I just hit the close button. Or do I just risk it for the biscuit? Well, chat, since you are technically in control of my financial health, what do you guys think I should do? Attempt to manually close and find out if that works, or just leave that one order in that I'm seemingly not allowed to touch? Do we risk it for the biscuit, as in the breakdown to 735, or do we figure out if I'm even allowed to hit this close button? Zanrock says flat and all be done. Well, that's not bad advice, most likely. Most likely not. Well, someone else. Open more. Manually close one. Well, I only have one. The only smart thing I've done with this particular trade is I didn't size up and go 2. Double down. I don't feel like right now with these issues, adding on another contract is the move. If this starts to fail, that would be a beautiful risk point right there. I could get away with risking 8 points. And then that would be the nice play, is if this starts to get rejected, let's say we fall back below 75 right now, the risk would just be right there. So easy. I could risk 8 points. I could risk $180 to potentially make, I don't know, another 1K. Like, what a good risk reward setup. I'd be looking for failure here at 75.50. Just to clarify, I find that talking about trades and the management in the active trade is actually the most useful way to learn, because a lot of the times when people try to teach and whatnot, it's always Monday morning quarterbacking. They're using charts that have already played out, which is very different than when you're like in the moment, obviously, which is why I'm telling you what I would what I would personally want to do right now is I would watch this. In the event that we take out 75.50, that's this recent low, I would move my risk to whatever the recent high is, and then from there I'd be playing the breakdown of this trend line to whatever the extreme target is. but we just recaptured 800. Dude, I don't know how to fucking handle any of this today. This is actually very, very frustrating. I know it might seem like I'm all calm, cool, collected, but on the inside, I am screaming. On the inside, I actually hate this. I absolutely hate what is happening right now. Yeah, this isn't good. We're back at that level. I would have cut it forever ago. I'm such a fanboy of OCOs, order cancels orders. You just put in your risk, you put in your profit, and you move on with your life. Oh, alas, here we are. All right, so an attempt for the SPY to go back green currently being rejected. But let's see. Let's see what in the world actually plays out here. So both the SPY and the Qs just got a pop up to literally their closing value. Right here, you can see we pretty much have no net movement on the day. So this is a test. This is a very important test. Whoa, almost knocked my coffee over. Let's see. Who's going to win it? Who's going to win it? Who's going to win it? Obviously taking out the recent high, but it's also a lower low. So that's kind of, you could argue it's a bit more of an expanding pattern. So you might need a bit more patience to wait and see how it actually plays out from just a purely, I guess, tech standpoint. Yeah, that was 2 minutes a pop for sure. Look at that. Options popped. Mag 7, not so much. Of course, there was a bit of an upswing, but I'm not seeing the biggest follow through at the moment. Of course, maybe someone's about to splash the pot here. Fuck. Dude, I don't want to be involved in this. I would have been out at 40. Even from there, do I risk it? Do I try to? I don't know. Some people are saying don't disconnect. I just really don't like that I'm not in the driver's seat and it feels like I'm going for pure luck rather than actual risk management and actual trades right now. Not a fun feeling. And the real kicker is for a moment there, back at the turn of the hour or right before, it looks like it was close to just like luck playing out and me being able to manage it myself or with that one order. Fuck, dude. Okay. Well, anyway, maybe we'll get lucky with a bit of this. Let's do a giveaway. Maybe I need good karma and the good karma will play out. So let's do Payday Friday. I'm going to give you guys an extra minute, like, retweet, and follow. We're giving away 5 futures accounts from FFN, and we're giving away 5 options accounts from Vanquish. We're also doing a marble race where the winner will be getting $150 of cold hard cash. We're about to do it. I'll give you an extra minute. All you have to do is like, retweet, and follow. It's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. We're way overdue for it. I should have been doing this a half hour ago. We just got caught up in the middle of a bunch of shitty... Fuck, dude. I don't want to be in this play at all, man. Do I try to log in, log out, log in, and kill it? What the fuck, dude? It's little things like this that just drive me up the wall of like when it's seemingly like out of your control. Like, it makes me so fucking pissed off. I feel like I was doing really, really like solid risk management today as well. That's like the kickers. I feel like I was on the ball. Like, nope, hit. Like I wasn't even giving it really a chance. And now I'm getting busted up. Oh, fuck. It is what it is. Can't cry. There's no crying in the casino, folks. You can't cry over spilled milk, but now it's even going again. Like, I don't even feel good on this now. Like, at all. I mean, look at this. Mag 7 picking up. Delta on the SPY definitely picking up. We are back in that green territory. It looks like it's going for this high. Yeah, we had lower highs and lower lows, but we now might be going for a fresh high. Fuck, dude. That's just so frustrating. I got to remind myself, no crying in the casino. I guess I could have... Well, no, because Rhythmic has the flat and all. I guess in hindsight, I hate this concept of blaming others. Like inherently, if you're always blaming others, that means, well, you're always fucked because it was always someone else's fault. And in retrospect, now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have logged into Tradeovate and done the flat and all from Tradeovate. So you have to take ownership. I think it's really, really easy in the moment to want to blame others when things don't go your way. And like, even in this conversation, I'm like catching myself in that, because I just don't think it's healthy. Because if you're always blaming others, you're inherently not going to be in control of it. It's on me. I probably should have logged in. Can I do that even still now? I mean, it's down. I'm not down bad. Let me see if I could get into Tradeovate, but I also want to do this giveaway. Tradeovate. I think they have Tradeovate. Do I know my login? Do I have to get into my Apex for my login? Fuck, this is going to take forever. Oh, brother, 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 oh, brother. It's in the market god's hands now. Let's do this giveaway. All right, hang on. Twitter picker. All right, Twitter picker. Close pop-up. All right, here is the tweet. I need to copy this. All right. You have to like and retweet. We're going to do 5 for Funded Futures Network, 5 for Vanquish, and then all 10, Matt_Kohrs, will be in the marbles race. So let me get a pen and paper. Let's get this all down. So the first ones are FFN, and then we're going to do Vanquish. All right. All right, we have 5. These first 5, just to clarify, the first 5 are going to be for Funded Futures Network. Remember, right now, crazy deal, 50% off Evos, buy one, get one, and no activation fee. Use that code Goonie. So all these 5 people are going to be getting one of those accounts. All right. And in the meantime, I think I'm going to try to kill Ninja and restart it and see what happens. All right. Das, Keith, Witsworld, William Jaxo, and APK. All right. So Sig. All right. J. Keith. All right. Witsworld. Cool. Jeremy Jackson, JJ. And then we're also going to have Aaron. That's funny. Aaron. All right, you guys are all in the marbles race, and congrats, you won a Funded Futures account. Great. Let's do that. All right. What was that? I was gonna say I might be getting lucky, but I also don't know if I could get the fuck out. So that's fun. All right, the next 5, these are all for Vanquish. Let's see. All right, Missouri. Visual Factor, that F guy, Christopher, and IX Terium. Pat. All right, Pat, Vanquish account. Whitetail Addiction. All right, got it. Jacob, very professional sounding. That F guy. Interesting name, but hey, I'll believe it. And Scarecrow. Very scary. All right. The second list of 5, congrats, you all won a Vanquish account. Folks, for both of you guys to get these accounts, you have to follow. They're going to be like reaching out to you. You have to follow them on Twitter so they can DM you. So if you are the winner of a Vanquish account, make sure you follow Vanquish. Funded Futures Network, make sure you follow them. It's just necessary for the DMs. All right, so we have all of those people. Cool. Let me show you this. It looks like we are dipping a little bit. I'm back. Can I get the fuck out? Vix is picking up. What the fuck do I do? What do I do? Do I just like pray that this order? I would so love to put in a stop at break even. I cannot explain how much I would love to just be done with this. We're praying now. We're praying for a trend line breakdown. We're praying for a snap of this trend line, a snap of 49, and a fill at 35. Come on. Oh, market gods, here I, Matt Kohrs, pledge my allegiance, my unwavering, undying allegiance to the makers of the market. Hear, hear. Hear, hear, market gods. Let my prayers be heard. Let my prayers be heard. Oh my God, I just so want to put in a break even. I'm afraid to disconnect anything because I'm getting some messages that if I can't reconnect, then I'm really out of the dark. So it's in itself, it's a risk reward situation. The only other better idea I could come up with right now is seeing if I could cancel this order. Is that order even up? Okay, it's working. It's no longer pending. The only other thing I could come up with is putting in the break even and then trying to mark it out if we're roughly in this zone. That's the only other potential idea. But part of me is worried about killing this order because it actually got in when a lot of other ones weren't working. So like, it feels like anything I do, there's like a little bit of a risk here because it seems like I can only have up one order, and before I couldn't have up any orders. I think it's something with my copier. I'm just making, hang on, let me get up. Let's get this game going. Maybe out of sight, out of mind. Maybe if we just get marbles going, it'll magically get me my fill. Maybe if we get marbles really ripping, maybe that's what we need. All right. Random race. Hang on. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Come on, oh, market gods. Oh, market gods. No. No. I have upset them. Oh, dude. Fucking who else does this happen to? One fucking point away. No, dude. Who else has such incredibly bad beats? Dude, without bad beats, I wouldn't have beats at all. I wouldn't have any beats at all. After all of that, one fucking point, dude. One goddamn point. Come on. Come on. You have to laugh or you're just going to scream. Dude, uncanny. Uncanny. Come on. Get me the fill. No, dude, they're still buying it off of 50. Son of a bitch, dude. Come on. 1 point. My fill's been at 35 forever, and it got to 36. The market, I must have upset the market gods. I must have upset them. They are displeased with me. This is painful. This is so painful. I was like all ready. I was like, all right, cool. Like, this is going to work. Like, hey, it was a little degenerate. I cannot believe it got that close. That's a dagger in the heart, folks. And it's coming all the way fucking back up. Dude, dagger in the heart. No. No. Dude. Matt was reaching for the beer too soon. I think I was. Dude, I think I was counting my chickens before they were hatched. Oh. Dude, I cannot believe that happened. It seems like once a week I stream to you guys a brutal, like, 1 point miss. And here we are again, just chalking it up. I can't fucking believe it, dude. I cannot believe it. Unfucking canny, dude. How? All right, is this it? Come on, crack it. At least get it closer. It's like one thing if it's at least dance around 50, but like it made a full trip back up to me. Is this it? Are you coming back down to fill your boy? O market gods, blessed be thy name. I am nothing but your humble, degenerate servant. I get it. There's no crying in the casino. Honestly, I'm rooting for this. I don't even know if this order is going to work, folks. We've been having some weird issues. Dude, how brutal of a situation would that be? Is I live through this, missing it by one tick, comes all the way back up to break even, goes all the way back down. Imagine if it does hit it, but then something's weird with the orders and it doesn't fill. Oh, that would be, I think that's the only, okay, come on. Nothing like riding a 60-point reversal. Nothing like riding the dragon. Here we go. Come on. Nothing. Here we go. Everyone. Come on, brother. My stress levels can't handle this. Come on. No. No. Dude, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my fucking mind today. This is the day, October 17th. You guys, you're like, yeah, that's the day Matt Kohrs lost his mind. You guys are going to, I was a part of it. When my therapist reaches out to all of you for like, hey, can you give like a detailed account for the exact moment he lost his final tether to reality? And you're like, yeah, I actually saw the whole thing. And in fact, here's the stream. You could watch it. When I'm in like the fucking loony bin and I'm in one of those white padded rooms in like the straitjacket, please just give this to the psychiatrist for me. Be like, yeah, this is what finally cracked him. Dude. Yeah! Dude, never question it for a second. Never questioned it for a second. 60K locked in, read them, and actually more than 60K. So 20K or 3K, 20 counts, 60K, and then a little bit of about 62K locked in. That's what the American dream's all about, people. That's what it's all about. When in 1776, when we were telling those gay ass British people that we want to do it our own way, they're like, yeah, we don't want you guys to necessarily degenerately gamble to pay your bills. And then Americans were like, but we want to. This is the real American dream. No matter how they chalk it up, they think it's about tea and something with like a tea party or this or that, or I don't know, something about rights and taxes. No, this is what it's actually about. This is what life is about. Jesus, we're still not even at that intraday low. Well, now that I made a lot of money and that order worked. Well, actually, hang on. Orders. Okay, there are no orders, right? There are no positions. Okay. I think I'm done. Like, I just need to stop it here. I'm having some problems. It seems I'm done. Done. I want it known. the numbers at the end of the day are going to look exactly like this. Well, technically these can still trade, but that's all robot. And is that turned on? Yeah. Okay. I'm done manually trading. I'm keeping my 60K and I'm moving on with my life right now. So I want that to be stated. For posterity, it's just not worth the risk of not being able to manage anything, apparently. But it seems like we're getting really close to that tilt zone. The VIX is picking up, the Mag 7's taking a hit, and it's just here. I'm telling you, it's 6,600. If that doesn't hold, the market has a little bit of a shot to catch itself at 6,570, but really the interesting level becomes 6,540. So watch for this breakdown because that's where things can get a little bit saucy. And in the meantime, let's have a fun race and let's give away some cold, hard cash. Once again, congratulations to Siegfried, to Jay Keith, to Witzworld, to Jeremy Jackson, and to Aaron, all winning a funded futures account. Shout out to Patrick, Whitetail Addiction, Jacob, and that F guy, and Scarecrow for all winning a Vanquish account. And now it's time to find out which one of y'all has been practicing enough for the marbles race. Hang on. Someone got their message deleted. What was this one? Jesus. What? Bloody 74 G. Do we have a crazy person in chat right now? Yeah, we have a legitimate crazy person in chat. That's crazy. All right, well, I guess if that's how you feel, that's how you feel there, Tonto. But yeah, no, crazy person in chat. Let's get all the racers ad names. All right, we have Siegfried. We have Jay Keith, who I think competed last week. Witzworld. We have JJ, and we have Aaron. All right. That's our first 5. Then we have Pat. We have Whitetail Addiction. We have the very professional sounding Jacob. And then we have the not so professional, that F guy. And then we also have Scarecrow. All right. We have our 10 competitors. Let's get into the map. All right, let's see if we can get some tunes here popping. Let's see. Dude, the music being put out lately has been awesome. Bullwhip, Margin of Pain. I feel like that might be a good one for today. The Notorious DTE, Warren. All right, we have some good music ready to rip it. But as we always do, before we get into it, I'm not saying we're necessarily betting people, but if we were betting people, who would you be betting on? We have 10 strong competitors right now, but who do you think's been putting in that work? Who do you think has that grit? Who do you think that dog in them to really win this race? Remember, this is a winner takes all. This is prison rules. The only rule that matters is winning. It's the first person to get to the finish zone. That's all that matters. So with that in mind, who do you think is going to go full on Fast and Furious and win? Jacob, because I like his Z. Me, that F guy. Keith. Sig. Jay Keith. So, Missouri, you're stretching, you're getting ready? All right, folks. Well, we've been waiting long enough. It's been a crazy enough day that it's time to get into this because we are rocking in 3, 2, 1. Why isn't that going?
Any stealing of this equity.
All right, let's see who gets the first drop. We are on a space map. We have not been racing this one. Let's see. Shout out to Tendies and Tunes. All right, who's going to make the first move? Who's looks like Jay Keith. Jacob. Oh, it is anyone's race. We are all over, okay? Remember, a lot of people die in these races. It happens. All right, Jacob was winning. Scarecrow caught the speed up. Scarecrow currently leading. Oh, someone just died. No, not Whitetail. Witzworld just died. But it looks like Scarecrow, Jay Keith, and Pat are all hot in pursuit. Siegfried. Oh, we have a lot of different pathways. As an announcer, there's a lot to pay attention to here. But honestly, we only have one death. This is anyone's race. Scarecrow and Pat have a lead right now. Actually, Whitetail Addiction is looking pretty good as well. Siegfried's over here. Folks, this is anyone's race. Anyone's race. Generally, at this point, we have way more deaths. Whitetail Addiction, I believe, is leading. But Sig is there. That F guy, Scarecrow, Hot Pursuit. What do we have? Whitetail Addiction. Ooh, dodging all of it. All right, little turnstile thing coming in. Can Whitetail's addiction get him addicted to winning? Uh-oh, everyone just got the drop. Who is it? Scarecrow? Sig caught the speed up and wins in the last second, pulls it out. The first winner from Twitter is the first place finisher here. Folks, massive congratulations. That was a good one. That was up to anyone. Siegfried, Scarecrow, Aaron, minute 39. Those are some good times, folks. Join me in a round of applause. It doesn't matter if you're at work right now. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If I could ask you guys to all just stand up. Quick round of applause, you know. Just quick one. Stand up, folks. Tell your boss to F off. You just watched an amazing race. Congratulations. Folks, if you are a winner of any of these accounts, I will be DMing you later today. And if you're the individual one, make sure you're following at least on Twitter the respective one that you won. But especially you, Sig, I'll be reaching out because I got to give you some cold, hard cash. Folks, Payday Friday. It's a little bit of Payday Friday magic. Locking in the 60K, the 62K. The market is right on edge right now. It's this. If you need to know the level that's of interest, it is here. It is 6,600. Watch that test. I fully expect us to test it. I don't know if we're going to break or not. Obviously, no one knows. I'll tell you better when I look at the flow. Oh, someone's trying to save the Mag 7 right here. The Mag 7 was going down, but someone stepped in to buy it. Someone's putting in the backs. Ooh. People are getting out of puts, but they're buying a little bit of calls. But the movement we're seeing, dude, this bounce, it seems really suspect to me because every single time we bounce, it's not people getting calls. It is them selling puts. It is not bulls entering. It's just less bearishness. And the real telltale sign to me here is just the strength of the VIX. The VIX is refusing to go down. Maybe you can see it better here on the 5-minute. For me to be bullish, I'd want to see a little bit of a capitulation in vol. Mag 7, it's questionable. It's right at that breakdown level. VIX taking a little bit of a hit. All right, here we are. All right, we have some breakouts. We have some breakdowns. Maybe it's better on the 5-minute. Yeah, it definitely is. Looks better. Looks better. Well, we started off red, went a little bit green. Now we're back to red. I know it doesn't seem like much, but this has been some actual movement, like some sizable movement. And it's only 11:30, which means there's a lot left in store for today individually. Folks, we are way over the time. I hope you're crushing it. I appreciate all the mental and emotional support you guys gave me throughout the day today, because that was going to be some unfortunate beats without a doubt. But due to your degeneracy and us all praying to the market gods, we ended up making a couple shekels. So actually one of the best days I've had on day trading in a bit. But obviously I'm much more of a swing trader. But hey, that was still fun. 62K locked and loaded. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be putting out an update video on Sunday to give you a recap of today, this weekend, and what to look forward to next week. Obviously, if you're trading today, watch that 6,600 level. We could tilt into negative gamma, and we could see another large sell-off into the afternoon. It is something that's not guaranteed, but it is definitely possible. We have all the ingredients for the recipe of a sell-off today, so please pay attention. If you want to join the Goonie Trading Discord and trade with me and other great people, that's all in the description of the video. Just want to call that out. Other than that, I hope you have a great Friday. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you're able to hang out with friends and family and be safe. Remember, it's always smarter to Uber than it is to drive drunk. And that's what I have for you. I appreciate all the good vibes. I hope you murder today and make a shitload of money. And I'll catch you guys later on. Thanks for all the good vibes. Peace.